Hello everybody, Paul Vibes here. I am here at my good friend and mentor, Jim Ryan.
Yes sir, how are you?
Good. Jim Ryan is an author of an amazing book. You got amazing little things out, but your main book is Simple Happiness.
Simple Happiness, 52 easy ways to
lighten up.
That's it.
Who doesn't need that in today's world? Oh my God, you're gonna be selling more than ever soon.
That's right.
Everybody could use more ways to lighten up. Jim Ryan is a motivational speaker. He's an author. Overall, just wonderful human being. He is a huge influence in my life. I really can't, I wouldn't be doing, I think that, I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for this wonderful man. Always made the time to meet me early in my speaking career. Always was able to share resources and advice. It reminds me of this quote that I heard recently. It said, "Rising tides bring up all ships." And when I think of that, I think of you. Always done that. But Jim, Simple Happiness, the book, it is one of those books where it is really simple to understand, but it's so important. It's things that we know, but we seem to forget.
That's it. It's simple, but it's not unsophisticated. People buy the book and they read it and they pass it on to someone they care about, or they read it again and they underline and they dog-ear the pages. It's been a real humbling experience writing the book. I met Paul years ago. I was at a kind of like a fair at Northport High School.
Yes.
I was selling my book, and who comes up but Paul Vibes? And he was so excited to meet me because he told me he confided in me that he wanted to be a motivational speaker. And I said, well, I was taken aback, but he was so enthusiastic. So we talked, and he bought my CD. The book was on 3 CDs, so he could listen to it. And then we parted ways, and didn't think much of it. And then a couple of years ago, I'm walking down to the post office.
On this street, right here.
Going to the post office in Northport, and someone yells my name. And Paul comes running up and said, Jim, I'm so happy to see you. And that started our relationship as professionals.
Yes.
And Paul confided in me that what he was doing, he was running the Buddy Club in Northport. And I was so, really proud of him. Here's a young man who had really a purpose in life. He's not just, wandering around playing video games. He's working in the community, helping people to integrate and to have fun. It was so exciting meeting him, and we've had a great relationship for a couple of years. And
your audiobook, which is amazing, I highly recommend. I mean, the book is great too, but your voice, you got a great soothing voice. I know you've been told that a few times, but the audiobook was great because I would listen to it in the car with many of my special needs clients. And it would get to the point where they would be bringing up things from the audiobook. They would ask to borrow it. I would have friends. I don't even think I have it anymore. I think my friend stole it from me.
Well, I'll have to give you another copy. I have more copies.
I need to lighten up from that whole situation. The book is great. It really is, though. It's one of those books where you could read these books from these famous gurus and these people that have been at Oprah and all this great people. But Jim's book is just as powerful, but also simple and easy just to open up and read. Your brain doesn't hurt after.
No, it's got 52 short chapters. Each chapter is 2 or 3 pages, so it's not like a tome. It's a very friendly book. And people, carry it around with them, and they'll keep it in their desk at work, keep it at their coffee table at home.
Your story you talked about. Kind of similar to my story of working with the special needs population with the Buddy Club and spending years of doing that and not getting paid. And for me, it's never been about that. And your story is very similar because of your volunteer work, which you continue to this day, I know, at the prison. You volunteer there, right?
It's probably one of the best things I ever did. 20 years ago, I realized I had all of this stuff in my head from reading and studying, and I said, what's the point of having it in my head?
Yes.
I got to get it out of my head. So I spoke to some friends, and I was directed to the jail out in Eastern Long Island. And every Monday morning for the last 20 years, I can't believe it, I go there and I teach a class in personal development to men and women now who are locked up for multiple DWIs. It was a turning point for me. They like the program. They shake my hand. They say thank you. It just fills me up to go there. So,
and we talked about this. We walk out of these things, many of things which you don't get paid for, and we walk out floating because, I say sometimes I'm so selfish. Sometimes I walk out of there, I feel like I walked out with more than they did.
I always get more than I give. I really believe that. And if you volunteer, that's one of the chapters in my book is volunteer. It's such an honorable situation, but you get so much more than you give.
100%,
It's
100%.
amazing.
And Jim, you're a great testament to that. I mean, you know, I'm not hiring you for speak. I'm not paying Jim. Jim's not paying me. You should, Jim. No, Jim is, you know, he's always meeting me. Anytime I have a question, he has been, you know, he practices what he preaches. And in this world, there's a lot of motivational speakers. A lot of people are doing very well. But when it comes time to meet with them and to get for help and to actually do a lot of things that they're talking about, they don't follow through.
You gotta walk
You know.
the walk. That's the way it is.
And what we are walking the walk right now. We're walking the walk.
Yeah, I love it when people come up at the end of one of my talks and say, Jim, I felt like you were talking directly to me.
Yes.
It was so real in my life. And it's a gift, and it's something that Paul has the same gift. He makes people feel comfortable in his message. Doesn't talk down to anybody.
Yeah.
It's really, his audiences are comfortable, and they like to speak up and participate because he gets
Absolutely.
he gets right to the heart of the issue and inspires the people to share.
You know, and that's something we were talking about, the importance of, and as we know, life doesn't work as a script, like a script. Your talks don't work as a script. There's going to be audience engagement. There's going to be people who get emotional. There's going to be people who laugh. There's going to be people that cry. There's going to be people that just want to interrupt the whole talk.
Yeah.
And that's okay, because we know, you know, life doesn't always work as a plan, like the plan or the script. You have to be willing to work with whatever's in the present moment.
And that's the fun of being a speaker is dealing with the unforeseen,
Unknown, right?
unforeseen. People they'll blurt out something, and you have to respect them. But at the same time, there's a balance between respecting the rest of the audience and not letting it be monopolized by one person. So there's that fine line
Yes.
that you learn over the years, and it's a challenge, and it's fun when you have to deal with it.
It's fun. I could talk about this stuff all day with Jim, but one of the last things I want to talk to Jim, speaking of the unknown, a lot of people suffering, a lot of people that talk to me, you know, my work with the special needs population, my work with the substance abuse population is the unknown. There's so much anxiety and sadness and depression around the things that we can't control, the unknown. And you know, one thing that we speak about is trusting in the journey. And you know, luckily I've had people like you in my journey to support me, and I think that's, you know, one of the big things in life is to keep positive and good mentors around. But speaking from you, if you could pull from some of your amazing things from your book, what would you say to a lot of the people watching this who are dealing with a lot of unknown, a lot of anxiety, a lot of what ifs?
You know, the people that ask me, they say, Jim, I want to be happy. But how do I do it? Where do I start? And I always tell them two things. Number one, you got to want to be happy. You got to ask yourself the question, what kind of a life do I want for myself? Because we're really fashioning our lives minute by minute by the choices we make. So you got to want to have happiness in your life. You got to
Yes.
want to have low stress. And the next thing I tell people is gratitude is the place to start. I mean, we've all got things to be grateful for, but so many of us are thinking about the things we don't have.
Yes.
And we just focus on the negative, and then that's what we get in our life. So I tell people, write down 25 things that you're grateful for, and read the list every day. And all of a sudden you'll start thinking about gratitude versus what I don't have. And little by little, your life starts to get better, guaranteed.
Yeah. And all that stuff is taking up space. So what's that this line you have? It's renting space.
Well,
What's that quote?
yeah.
You say something like that, right?
Well, when you let something that somebody said years ago continue to fester in your mind and bring you down and make you sad, that's like letting that person live in your head rent free. So we give people perspective, we give people strategies about how to deal with the unknown, how to deal with the uncomfortable. Because we all have issues, we all have things to deal with.
It reminds me of one thing in my talk that I say is, our challenges would ultimately lead us to do the wonderful things that we do in the future, but it's our choice. We can sit there and feel sorry for, oh, why did I have a learning disability? Why did I have to go through that? And that's part of my journey. And there was a time in my life where I felt that way.
Sure.
But then I start looking back and I said, wow, I was able to accomplish this. I was able to accomplish that. Look at the impact it made on this person's life. And I say to myself, well, I definitely wouldn't be doing those things if it wasn't for those.
It's baby steps. We can't change our life in 1 minute. We got to, little by little, if we just take baby steps. You know,
That's what we're doing right now. We're not walking very fast.
It's a long life.
Yeah.
That's one of the chapters in my book. So be patient. Be kind to yourself. It doesn't happen in a day.
Yeah.
Little by little, your life is going to get better if you just focus on gratitude.
Yes.
Focus on volunteering. Get out of your own way.
And I look back at our friendship and all the little accomplishments we both have made, and you're always doing something, Jim. I'm gonna be tagging all of Jim's programs and services and books. He's an amazing human being. But I look back at our friendship and all those little baby steps that you've helped me along, and you've guided me. And you said to me, Paul, go for it. Start doing talks, start reaching out to people. You don't need to wait till you have all the brochures made up, everything figured out, you have the email list, this. He said, Paul, nobody's got it all figured out.
You don't have to get it right. You just get it going, and you
Yes.
learn along the way. Every experience teaches you a lesson. So, if you have that attitude, you're going to be a success in whatever endeavor you've taken.
Absolutely, there's a lesson in everything. Jim, I'm gonna be tagging all your books. I am super excited. We're gonna have Jim on the People's Podcast. He's the people. He's doing some positive stuff. I can't wait for that. Be sure to check his social media, follow him. You can join his email list.
That's right. Go to my website, jimryantalks.com. Right on the front page, you put in your email address. Every Wednesday morning, I send out a little aha moment.
Great.
A little uplifting thought. They're free. Try it.
And he also aha books, which are great, simple, quick. And again, his book is amazing. I highly recommend it. I should just be buying a box and giving them away because they're wonderful books. And you also work with different businesses and companies to buy bulk, and they can give it to their business members and customers.
Yep.
So again, Jim, thank you so much for being my friend, my mentor, and I look forward to doing more videos with you.
Okay, Paul, thanks a lot. Much
Awesome.
success.